Welcome back, everybody. This is the thejonnymar, and I am continuing with Final Fantasy III for the PSP. So we are back in Eureka, and we are going to be doing our second dive through the Forbidden Land, the final, but not quite final optional area of the game. So in this particular episode, we are going to continue forward, and we are going to take on all of the sub-bosses protecting the legendary weapons that we skipped during my last episode when we just picked up all of the chests. So we have to go down a few floors before we get to the sub-weapons, and then we'll take on each of the bosses in turn. Hopefully we won't have too many random encounters here that I have to edit out, or I guess show if we face something unique. But we'll probably just face the sleep snares, which we tend to face over and over and over again down here. Alright, so we have, I believe, one more floor to go, and then we will get to our first legendary weapon, which is the Moonring Blade. So I sometimes get asked why I dual equip with characters in this game as opposed to wearing something like a shield. And the answer is that essentially it really shortens the battle times. Here's the Moonring Blade. But in this particular episode for this boss, I am going to show you what happens when you equip shields. So on my primary attackers here, I am not going to equip dual weapons. I'm going to put shields on them. And then you can see how much longer it's going to take in order to get through the boss encounter, and how much less damage my fighters do. The Moonring Blade, Force of Darkness. Well, you will see what we're made of. And we're going to take on, not Hein, but Amon. And not a Pokemon, no, just Amon. So Amon is very similar to Hein, though. He has a barrier shift that he does that makes him resistant to and also weak to certain elements. So if you are using a Black Mage or a Magus, you'll need to use Scan or a Scholar in order to see what that weakness currently is. And then he also throws out high-level elemental spells. So you're starting to see perhaps the benefits and also the disadvantages of using a shield. So the shield does substantially increase your defense and magic defense, but it also substantially lowers your physical attack power. So whereas my Ninja and Knight and Dragoon, as you saw with the jump there, we're doing in the mid to high thousands of damage when they had dual weapons equipped. With only one weapon equipped, they're doing around 1,000 to 2,000 damage. So substantially reducing their output. Now, that's not a huge issue, and it's actually a good thing when it comes to certain super bosses in this game, because sometimes you're going to be doing things that don't require you to attack, and you just want to survive as long as possible. So I will be equipping shields during those encounters. But for these boss encounters like Amon, where essentially we want to kill him as quickly as possible just to get through him, he's not too tough, he's not doing a ton of damage whether you wear shields or not. We want to actually attack him with full weapons. He does have over 30,000 hit points. So it's going to take quite a while to beat him at this rate. And even with haste on, again, we're just not doing the damage that we normally do. Alright, come on. Let's do some damage here. This is taking forever. So what I'm going to do is, starting with the next round, I'm actually going to equip multiple weapons on my characters again, using the equip menu in battle, and that'll allow me to substantially improve the attack damage that I'm doing. And I want to know how he's able to attack my Dragoon with that spell. The Dragoon was in the air, so if we multi-target on my party with the Dragoon in the air, it does not hit the Dragoon. But apparently if the enemy multi-targets and the Dragoon comes down before the spell resolves, then it does. basically hit that character as well. But alright, let's throw on multiple weapons again. Let's stop playing around with this character here, with our food, so to speak, and let's actually beat him. I'm tired of seeing Amon's face. So here comes full damage output. And there he goes. Down he goes. So you saw 1,300 damage with a shield versus close to 4,000 damage with a critical hit with multiple weapons. So yeah, not really worth it for most of these encounters. Again, some encounters, in particular super bosses, we are going to be equipping shields. But for these sub-bosses, not really worth it. So now we get the Moonring Blade. That is the ultimate back row weapon for a ninja or thief class. So pretty good attack power, and if you are attacking from the back row, it does have full attack power. So it does allow you, if you equip it with some of the other boomerang weapons, to put your character in the back row to cut the attack damage that he takes. So that will actually be a strategy we implement, potentially, with future boss battles. The only trade-off is that some of the ninja weapons, especially the one we're going to pick up next, actually give you extra agility. So now we're going to go after the Mace Immune, and this gives you a little bit of an agility boost when you equip it. So that can be helpful in certain boss encounters. But to get the Mace Immune, we have to take on the Konichi. So she's not terrible. All these sub-bosses aren't that bad. But she does have some advantages over Amon. Mainly she can attack, I believe, 3 times per turn. And her physical attacks can also inflict ailments. So they can inflict blind and also poison. And you notice that she can also put beneficial effects on herself, like haste, which will increase her damage output. I think she can also use the high-level arrow spell. But again, we're not messing around with shields in this battle, so we should kill her pretty fast. She only has about 30,000 hit points, I think a little bit under, maybe around 29,000. So we should kill her, there she goes, pretty fast. Spear right to the heart. So that is 2 sub-bosses down. And we get our second legendary weapon, the Masamune. Or Masamune, or Masamune, or however you want to pronounce it. Alright, so we're going to throw that on the ninja because it is a pure upgrade over our existing weapons. It is a stronger attacking weapon and it gives you a boost to agility. Alright, so the next legendary weapon we want to get is on the next floor. And that is the legendary Excalibur weapon. So fortunately, unlike Final Fantasy IV, we do not have to do a little side quest to get the Excalibur. So we don't have to find a tail and then take it to a legendary smith or anything like that. No. We did have to do something like that for the Ultima weapon in this game. But for Excalibur, we can just grab it and take on a boss, which is the General. This general is significantly different than the generals we took on in Final Fantasy II, although comparative to our levels, perhaps as dangerous. So he looks pretty menacing, and he can use some pretty good magic attacks too, like Death. So you do want to be aware of that. But his regular attacks do not inflict ailments, so that's nice. He does have to go out of his way to cast a magic attack. And you'll notice that his physical attacks are not necessarily the strongest. He has about 35,000 hit points. Again, considering we're going dual wielding with our weapons, we should take him out in only a couple rounds. But you do want to watch out for the death spell. I think he can also use bio and maybe drain as well. But down he goes. Full damage output means only a couple rounds to kill these bosses. So now we will secure the Excalibur Sword. A legendary sword that can only be equipped by the worthy, I believe it says in its description. So that means you cannot equip it on a ninja, because apparently a ninja is not worthy. So sorry, Lunith, you cannot equip the Excalibur. However, it can be equipped on a class like the Knight. So it is a pure upgrade over the Break Blade. More damage, and it actually boosts all of your stats by 5. So coupled with the Ultima weapon, now Ingus has got plus 20 to all of his stats from his weapons. And then on this floor is the final 2 legendary weapons. So now we do want to equip some equipment to prevent ailments. So we do have Aegis shields on, and also the ribbon. Because this boss, as well as the other boss that we're going to be fighting after, can actually petrify your characters with their physical attacks. And that is a nasty ailment to deal with. So because we want this Elder Staff, we're going to have to take on the boss, which is Scylla, or Skyla, or however you want to pronounce it. Very interesting design. Multiple wolf heads on a wolf/person body. But again, in general, it's going to go pretty fast. So the boss can use some high-level magic. And again, physical attacks can petrify your characters if you're not protected. But we are protected. So we're gonna go all out here and take out the boss as quickly as we can. So this boss can use high-level magic like Holy and Flare, the elemental spells, and can actually cure herself when her hit points get low. But I'm not gonna give it any time to throw that into effect. So there we go, we have obtained the Elder Staff. Only one more legendary weapon to go. So the Elder Staff is a improved staff for a character like a Devout. And when you use it in battle, it actually casts Cura, which is nice. So for our last legendary weapon, let's head over to the right, and we will grab the Ragnarok. We will have to take on the Guardian. So no, we don't have to take on Dark Bahamut or the Wyvern or what it's called in Final Fantasy IV, depending on the translation. Just this guy. So the Guardian can actually do petrification with his physical attacks. He can put up a reflect barrier to protect himself as well. And he can also use Tornado. So there's the reflectability. So these bosses have around 35,000 hit points. So again, we're going to take them out pretty fast. So not too worrying. We are protected from Petrify. Tornado usually doesn't hit. Good. And then we should kill him pretty fast, although not as fast as I thought. Looks like we're going to have to go another round. But once we grab the Ragnarok, what we'll do is I will teleport out of here. I'm going to do a little bit more level grinding, because next time we're actually going to take on the Crystal Tower. So I'm going to get all my party members up to about level 55 as the boss goes down. And then next time we'll actually take on the Crystal Tower up to the point of no return, which is the point at which essentially you have to do all of the last encounters and finish the game. We're going to be going up to that point before doing our final level grinding. So the Ragnarok, like the Excalibur, does give you a boost to your stats of +5. So it's a nice little backup, although it cannot be equipped by all classes. But if you do not have the Ultima weapon, it's a nice backup to not having that weapon. So as always, viewers, thank you for the continued support. I truly do appreciate it. And I'll see you all in my next episode. So long. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please press like and leave a comment below. Please also subscribe to my channel and press the notification bell. See you next time.